in my mind, I felt like this, like, the only way I'm gonna get rich if I make them rich. So I'm gonna make them rich first. Really telling everybody that if it wasn't for me, it would be no Rockefeller, it would be no Rock Nation, it would be none of that. Explaining to them that Reasonable Doubt that was put out in '96, that's my life.
You know Jay-Z from what age?
8 years old, since we've been 9 years old.
80s Marcy Projects, like.
It was pretty wild, pretty tense.
Police this noon are investigating a horrendous murder in Brooklyn. The victim was doused with gasoline and then burned alive. Now there are reports he may have been the wrong target of a drug war.
But it has some order to it. You know what I'm saying? It has some respect to it. It was, back then, it was like, when I say order and respect, man, a lot of this stuff that's going on today wasn't going on back then. When I say respect, you know what I'm saying, the gangsters, whatever was going on, had to go on in the streets was going on at night. When the kids was up.
Oh.
When the kids was in the bed. You get what I'm saying? When
so it wasn't like rampant drug dealing at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Not out in the open. Not out in the open.
Nah, not out in the open and shit. It was a lot more respect for the elders back then and shit, especially being in the projects where everything was so close.
And arrests have also been made in the shootings of 2 undercover cops in Brooklyn last night. The officers wounded while on patrol in a known drug area familiar with random violence.
But it still had its problems with, separation. Like, you got 2 sides of Marcy. You got those from the Myrtle Avenue side and us from Flushing. We didn't get along as much, but, those who was somebody was able to get along over there a lot. You know what I mean? Just on one side, it's 24 buildings. It's about 20-something buildings on each
so
side.
It might be, what, 10,000 or more residents or something?
So you got 24 apartments in a building. That's your family. And whatever's your building attached to, that's your family. So when I say, I grew up among our neighbors, you had drug dealers, you had dope fiends, you had molesters. All of that's going to be in your building, in the family.
Did you get involved in street activities before him? Because he hit the scene as a rapper, at least initially with Jaz-O. He was pretty young. He was like 18. What was going on in the two? Had you guys already dabbled in the street, or had you, or what was?
No, I have been in I've been hustling all my life, man. When I say, hustling, I ain't touched drugs until I was like 15, 16. But prior to that, I already had money. This is what I was already a hustler. I was already hustling newspapers and running numbers and doing stuff for the older guys.